So, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. And as always, it's good to be back in New Zealand and get back into the rhythm of things. But a lot has been happening in the world of AI. Yeah, why don't you kick us off with what have you seen and what have you been experimenting with?
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing I wanted to just have a chat about, it's not exactly new and not days new, but have you heard of Polsia?
No, I haven't. Tell me a bit more about it.
So Polsia, it was started in, I think, early this year by a guy called Ben Sera or Ben Becker. I'm not sure
Yeah.
actually what his name is. LinkedIn is different than X. But anyway, he created a company that is basically AI run and
Yeah.
it's called Polsia. And you sign up, I think you pay $49 a month and you tell it what company you want to run. And
Hmm.
the theory is it does everything. So it can code, it can post social posts, it can create ads, it can run ads, it can split test, it can basically do everything. And so his model, I think, is you pay $49 a month and then he takes a cut of the revenue that your AI business runs. And so it's kind of very, very futuristic.
Yes.
And it remains to be seen, is this actually legitimate? Are these actually companies that are going to last? So far, I mean, he posts updates on his X profile. So 19 hours ago, it's currently has a 9 million annual run rate. It's made $1 million a week for the last 8 straight weeks.
Yes.
And yeah, so sounds great, right? But when you
Yeah.
look into it, no one has really been able to find an actual Polsia run company that is legitimately successful. So it's hard to see on TrustPilot, for example, it's got, I think, 2.7 out of 5 stars.
Yes.
Someone's just posted a sort of review saying Polsia sent emails to my prospective client and got my last name wrong twice. And
Yes.
basically it confused him with a more sort of well-known person in his profession with the same first name. So
Yeah.
it's like if your name was Elon Smith,
Yes.
it would have
Yeah.
confused you and used Elon Musk. So
Yeah.
it seems more like an experiment that I mean we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's the core debate that's going on right now. Really, is what is going to happen in the long run? Is AI going to run and humans are going to be in the loop? The argument against that is that let's say you're in the loop and you check in every 24 hours to see what AI has been doing. You review the results, make a decision, and then tell it to go on its way. The argument is, well, why would you make that decision? Why wouldn't AI just make that
Just make
decision?
that, yes. So the key question is that out of 1,796 active companies, of course, by the time people are watching this, listening to this, there'll be a lot more on Polsia. How many are successful? Just as what you were saying, that it has really low stars, never heard of any company successfully using Polsia. So it's like if it reduces your success rate, even though it is cheap to build, it still takes your time and effort and everything. And you better off spending your time and effort in something else. That is the first question I would ask. It's like, just because rubbish is cheap does not mean you should go and buy rubbish or garbage. So it's like people are doing this because people are getting excited, once again making the same mistake that they're building companies for the sake of building or building something and thinking that, oh, yeah, as soon as you have something like this, anyone can just replicate your project. If it's built something on Polsia, the next person can replicate the same thing, and there is no competitive edge. There is no differentiation. So it's like it's race to the bottom and just crowding the market. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my take on it is when it comes down to it, humans are social creatures and
Yes.
business is essentially still humans dealing with other humans. And if
Yeah.
that no longer is the case, then I don't think it works in the long run. We love the idea of something being fully AI until something goes wrong. And then
Yes.
we want to actually talk to a human.
Yeah.
We want to be able to have someone who's accountable. I get the feel that it's going to fall somewhere in the middle where, yes,
Yes.
AI can run a lot, but there'll still be humans in the loop. Now, what that could mean is that a company that previously needed 500 staff may
Yeah.
only need 5. And so the result is you have a lot more companies maybe handling any number of niches. But I still think ultimately business is about humans doing business with other humans and AI doing business with AI. Fundamentally, there's something wrong in that logic. Maybe I'm not smart enough to actually articulate it. But do you get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you mean that yes, people do business with people. So yeah, that's an interesting one. So the where it has worked for traditionally for decades is algo trading. So where the decisions are so fast and you have to take into account so many different variables to decide whether to sell, buy, hold, whatever, trade on leverage, whatever the algorithm is said to do, that in that instance, something should work theoretically.
Yeah.
And it wasn't people dealing with people buying against people, it was a system buying from a system. So it worked there on such a high frequency basis. But not all decisions are that. In business, most decisions are low frequency decisions. They are not high frequency decisions. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why you need human in a loop. So yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens to Polsia. And if, have you done any experiment on it? Have you built anything on it?
No, I've just heard people complain about it, getting emails from Polsia AI employees.
I am getting emails all the time, not from Polsia, but from other AI
Yeah.
now. So you put this on Promptables on YouTube. I put this on Disruptia. I'm getting emails all the time from some like AI trolling through Spotify and then reaching out that, hey, heard your podcast. It's good. Market our product, talk about ours for free, of
Yeah.
course. So it's yeah, it's interesting, and it's just spam. It's just adding spam, and sooner or later, it's just spam is always cat and mouse game. So Google's filters will get better and improve, and Gmail will block out all this AI spam more and more. But I cannot imagine like what's going to happen in future because the cost of creating spam is racing to the bottom. So we'll get 5,000 spam emails a day, and then email gets broken, as in like no one is able to use email. But not only email, it would be same for LinkedIn, it would be same for X, for everywhere, all DMs. Telegram is already stuffed with bots.
So
So
eventually it's going to come back to actually meeting people face to face.
yeah, that's why I go to conferences. I just came back from spending 1 week in Vegas, 1 week in Miami, and then short time in San Francisco, and met lots of founders, investors, VCs, all sorts of people. And yeah, so it's just people are doing business with people,
Yeah.
even in a high tech industry, and it's gonna continue. So it's a very it is the most expensive way of doing business. Like people fly around from all around the world
Yeah.
and meet, but that's it is what it is. So I don't know if you've been following the rise of character AI over the last 3-4 years. So it's pretty much people create like AI characters. So very, very simple. And a lot of these are like, people have been using initial use case was girlfriend, boyfriend, like young people
Right.
talking with
Yeah.
it or lonely people talking with it as a but it could be like Bugs Bunny or it could be, and then talk with them as a friend, romantic partner, whatever. I mean, I'm giving a random example. It could be any character you can think of, and you can create characters, and then your character can earn money, whatever. And then they recently got sued in Pennsylvania because people were creating like these fake doctors, and then they were giving out medication or whatever are recommendations. I haven't gone
Yeah.
into the full story, but it sounded like a recipe for disaster. There was even like was it on Character AI or somewhere I saw someone created Jesus character, and then you pay $2 a minute to talk about your problems or your so people all sorts of random stuff. They make $60 million a year on average, and Google has invested 2.7 billion into Character AI.
Oh,
Google is
really?
one of
Wow.
the biggest investors in them. Yeah, one of the big success stories in AI, but very gray area. Sounds like a lot of the things that people are doing on it is like bordering on scam. So yeah, so very interesting. I don't have an opinion on it either way, and also juries to be seen because the cost of creating characters it's also coming down drastically and the ability like the expertise needed, so you don't even need to go to character, you could create your own character using
Yeah.
Claude or whatever AI or LLM you want, and then you don't need to pay a monthly fees and all that. So I don't know how they will make it sustainable in long term. So yeah, that'd be juries out to be seen.
I do know
Another,
that
yeah, go ahead.
obviously that when it gets into, like you mentioned, Bugs Bunny or, movie
Yes.
actors, there's the whole licensing aspect to that. So do they license likeness or they've gone rogue and you just can set up whatever you want?
I don't know. I have to look into their terms and conditions, but I do think they might have like some contracts with bigger IPs, but people do go rogue and create things on it and put it out, and they might come back to you with don't do that type of a thing, or you take personal responsibility for stealing IP or scamming people by being fake doctor or
Yeah.
fake whatever. Yeah.
I can
Fake.
see how it'd be quite addictive. I just looked at their blog and they talked about AI books. So you can choose a book that you like and you can enter into that world. And it's like you're part of, you can talk
Yeah.
to the characters and I can see
Yeah.
how that would a
So they
rabbit
have
hole.
like 10 million plus characters according to them. And I don't know how the IP side of things work. Or if, so say if it's a Disney character, then does Disney get paid a royalty for using that? I mean, in theory, Disney should get paid royalty because if they're using the likeness, they trained it on Disney's
Mm.
footage and all that, and animators and all that. But juries out there to be seen, and they are not even break even. They are still losing money in a typical Silicon Valley early stage startup fashion, despite making 60 million a year. Because compute costs are not cheap for something like this, like a live video type thing. It's yeah, those are really high still. So we'll see how it pans out over time.
Yeah.
The other story I came across was that in order to not reference real people and get in trouble, OpenAI gave more weight to fictional characters. So OpenAI asked its own LLM to, when it's referencing something, create and use fictional character names. So then it started just using goblins and gremlins into everything as an example from the fantasy world. So
Yeah.
for some reason, it just chose that, and then it's also a reinforcement. That it creates more content using gremlins and goblins, and then again it reads more content because it created, and so just pretty much everywhere was gremlins and goblins for a while until they fixed it. I think so. That was a interesting story I found in the last couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm pretty sure I can recall a few responses with that language.
Yeah, yeah, but it makes sense. Like, they want to use fantasy characters and not real life or anything like copyrighted, because exactly what we're talking about character AI, that IP issues. So if it's referring to Spider-Man, Iron Man all the time, Marvel or Sony would want money from OpenAI or sue them for using that IP and all that.
Yeah. Then also what you're saying, the cannibalistic nature, AI creates content, that content gets posted online, AI then consumes it. And I think
Yeah.
that's, the whole M dash,
Yes,
the
yes,
long,
yes.
it's in all the models.
It's all the models.
And I think it kind of got worse because a few years
Yes.
back, when all the content AI tools are out there,
Yeah.
everyone were posting these articles with listed with M dashes. And now
Indeed.
that's straight away I can see a AI response email and it's got the M dashes because so few people know how to create that on their keyboard anyway. So
Exactly right.
yeah,
It is AI feeding AI, and so that's how you end up in a situation where it's all gremlins and goblins and less human. But
yeah,
the thing is, what would be interesting is that now already we are reaching a point where most of the content generated, like 60% or something. Of course, it's different in different industries and all that, is all AI generated, and AI generated is consuming. So this is now. Imagine in 3, 4, 5 years time, how it's all gonna look like. It might look completely different, and it would have a major impact on human language. The students are using it. Everyone, teachers are using it. Everyone's using it. So instead of humans shaping AI, AI is gonna be shaping human language a lot more, or LLM shaping human language a lot more over time.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I mean, we'll see, right? Because, Sora, the video
yes,
platform that was hugely popular when it came out, and
yeah,
everyone was like, oh, this is it. This is AI plus social. And it was really, really fun to use. But then
yeah.
it was just a novelty. It was kind of like Oculus Rift, you wear VR for the first time and it's great. And then you use it a few times and then it's getting dust on it. So yeah, I mean, humans, I think, have a tolerance for so much AI. At least they do now. Sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's changing very, very fast. It's like AI content on the video side is really, really competing with real human made content at a massive, massive rate. And I can see pretty
Yeah,
much.
it can generate a lot of views, but people quickly then realize it's AI, and then it like,
Oh, no, no, no. People know this is AI. So I don't know. I know you don't consume TikTok, but, and it's not only on TikTok, it's on everywhere. It's like the fruit relationship drama. Have you been seeing that?
I think I've heard about it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like people are addicted to that stuff. It's like pretty much like Apple is getting into a relationship with a mandarin or orange or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. So it's just like it is cartoon style, like
No, but I
the
can understand that, and
animation.
there's some thought that goes onto it. But the example of Sora is Sora was shut down because
Yes,
it got a lot
copyright
of
violations and
exposure at the
stuff. Yeah.
start, but then it dies down.
No, no. The like even on flight. This is even 6 months ago or something. I was traveling, and in what's really popular in China is like really short form series, which are all AI generated. And it is labeled as AI generated short series. So they would be like 5 minute episodes, 10-minute episodes. And I don't speak Mandarin, but I watched them, and it was really, really well made. The storytelling was really good, the animation style was really unique, and I could totally see it that I'm watching that type of thing. And I do watch that type of thing. So basically, what AI does is, so they use Seed Dance. I don't know if you've come across Seed Dance
Yeah,
as a video generation platform. I think it's banned in US because of copyright. I think so. I could be wrong. Copyright violations or whatever. But the animation style is pretty good. You can create Hollywood style movie, and LLM is already really good at writing stories and stuff. It is like developing at a very, very fast rate. A lot of the content we'll see, more than half of it, will be all AI generated in future. Because yeah, we just get used to it, just like we got used to, I don't know what you call CGI back, like compared to, I mean, of course there is still value in doing the real action scene real, but yeah,
yeah.
CGI is like, yeah, so it's just like CGI. I see it as, so yeah. But yeah, I hear like the early AI stuff was bad, and it was really easy to know. But now, you know, sometimes when things are like so bad that they are funny, that they are good, so that the stage we are in still keeps improving. Yeah. What else? I did come across one more story, and that is around. I don't know. You are familiar with Polymarket, Kalshi, all these type of things,
Yeah.
and lots of other sort of trading platforms on crypto. And every day there will be someone on Twitter or X like come up and say that we have this bot or something and it's trading on Polymarket. It's finding niche niche things to trade against or niche things to bet against, and it does this, and it, yeah, like high frequency type stuff, and it bets and it's made $1 million or 500K, whatever, you know, few $1,000s every week it's making. And a lot of that is not true. A lot of that is just for the, yeah, it's just for getting likes and getting, you know, followers and getting subscribers to their Substack or whatever they are selling, digital product, tutorial,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And the thing that does work, it is finding bug bounties. So there are companies that put bug bounties out there and then getting really good like Claude or something, but you do need to have some understanding of code and getting AI to find bug bounties and submit those. So creating agents that do that. The downside of that is those bug bounties are really not worth a lot, like 10, $15, all that. I don't know. So your agent has to do a lot, and then you have to pay for AI and all that, and time and everything, and crawling through. But there is a way for someone at home to make money.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I have come across. Yep. So I'm going to, yeah. I mean, if you have time, you should test it and share your results next week if you can make an agent to do that, or yeah. But I have this open question for everyone listening or watching, is that, you know, if you guys have any ideas on AI agents or things that is a way to make money, reach out to us and let's build something together. Yeah, that's the one thing that I would like to share. But yeah, go ahead, Will, if you have got anything else you'd like to add and stuff for this week.
I think that's all for this week. I guess the other thing, if anyone knows of a business that's being created out of Polsia that is actually making money and legitimate, I'm
Yes.
keen to know. And I think it's been pointed out. I don't think it's an accident, but Polsia, if you reverse it, it's AI slop.
It is AI slop, but look, hey, he has made money from
That's
AI
true.
slop. I don't know if he has or not, because he'll have to pay for the processing and for
That's
all
true.
that,
Yeah.
you know. So it could be one of more of these character AI type instances where they do make a lot of millions, but then they spend more than millions to. So I mean, basically, Nvidia makes money. That's for sure. I don't know about anyone else in the middle. So it's still interesting. I think it's worth doing experiments for anyone sitting on the
Yeah.
edge
Yeah. Yeah.
and seeing what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah, so awesome. So on that note, see you guys next week again, and yeah, and let's go.
Sounds good.
Cool.